Hi everyone, welcome to episode 4 of Lockdown Batting. So I'm back in the garden. Today I'm going to be working on coming down the wicket to spinners. So what I've done initially is I've set up my pitch, got my stumps there. I've got 2 cushions down. Now they represent extra cover, the fielder and mid-wicket. They're obviously closer than the actual fielder would be, but what I've done is I've positioned them on a line. So once I've come down the wicket, I reckon that's the line of extra cover, and that's the line of a straight mid wicket. So for me, if I hit the ball into those cushions, then that's a dot ball because I'm basically hitting a fielder. So what I'm going to do to start with is a bit of a warm up drill. I'm going to get a feeder to just chuck some underarm balls at me. And I'm just going to use my feet to come down the wicket, try and get close to a half volley. I'm going to catch the ball after the half volley. And then I'm going to imagine from that position what shot I could have played. The reason for it is by taking the bat away and the hitting away, it just really makes you focus on your footwork and getting to the pitch of the ball. So I'll give you a few demonstrations and then you can go and have a go yourself. Okay, so what you've noticed is the footwork. As I got closer to the ball, I had to pick it up on half volley. It's actually quite a difficult ball to pick up. Don't worry if you're dropping a few. It's probably because you're getting close to the pitch and you're getting a half volley, which is when it comes to hitting, that's what you want. So it's just a bit of a warm up thing for you. Now, having done that, I'm going to get my bat and gloves, and we're going to do the same thing. Come down the wicket and try and hit a gap. There's 4 gaps, remember, because I've got my 2 fielders, but in terms of where I want to hit it, I can either go to the right hand of mid wicket, which is in here, and go straight at mid wicket, which is down to long on. I'm going to pretend that long on and long off the back, so I've got a run down there. Equally, if I beat the right hand of extra cover, that's a run down to long off, and if I beat the left hand of extra cover, then I'm hitting out to deep cover. Depending on what fields you've got, it could be 4, it could be a single. Don't worry too much about how hard you're hitting the ball, especially if you've got windows and things like that. It's more of a placement exercise. So you want to use your feet, get to the pitch, and try to place the ball in any of those 4 gaps. If you're doing that in here, hopefully when you go outside and you hit through, you'll be making good contact, and depending on fields, you'll either be hitting 4s or 2s or 1s, but it's all about getting that placement right in this exercise. So I'll give you a few demonstrations and then you can have a go yourself. So the final stage of this batting session is going to put you under a little bit of pressure. What you're going to do is label your 4 gaps 1 to 4. So gap 1 to the right of mid wicket, gap 2 to long on, gap 3 to long off, gap 4 just wide of extra cover. What you should do is get your feeder just before they feed to shout one of those 4 numbers. Your aim should then be to try and hit that respective gap. So it's going to put you under pressure. The reason for doing that is because when your bowler bowls, they quite often will bowl to their field, and so what will often happen is the line they'll bowl will force you to hit the ball to their fielders. The way to overcome that, it's called manipulating a spin bowler. It's whereby you move your feet to try and give you the opportunity to hit the gaps that you want to hit. So if you are able to hit your numbers in this exercise, that's going to help you when you go out and face a real bowler to manipulate them and get control of where you're hitting the ball, and so you're making sure that you hit your gaps. So I'll give you a couple of examples.
3, 1, 4, 2.
So hopefully you found all of that useful. The session was very much around shot selection and hitting the 4 different gaps. However, if you do want to put a bit of technical focus onto what you're doing, I'll just give you a few things that you might want to think about. So firstly, when you're coming down the wicket, if you want to get distance coming down the wicket, you're going to have to really spring out of your crease. So the way to do that starts with this right foot, the back foot. You must have the feel in your foot, and you've really got to push off to get that first stride forward. If you get a decent first stride, you can then bounce into another second stride. If you don't push off that right foot initially, you get a small stride in, you're going to be limited as to how far down the wicket you can get. So that's the first thing. Secondly, your head position is so important. If you want to hit the ball leg side, for instance, then you need to really get in line and to a certain extent come slightly offside of the ball. So that the ball comes into your legs, and that gives you the freedom to hit through the leg side. Equally, if you want to go offside, you need to make sure you've got the room to be able to open up and hit through the offside. Just be mindful though, most stumpings tend to happen with the ball passing the outside edge. So if you are giving yourself room, just be mindful that you don't want to miss that, because you will get stumped. Generally, when you come down the wicket and if you miss the ball past your inside edge, you'll quite often have your pad behind the ball, so it's a slightly safer shot. So just be mindful of those things. And yeah, good luck with it. Experiment in your garden. Use whatever facilities you have to try and make things realistic, and groove those skills and put yourself under a little bit of pressure. Hope it goes well.